Episode 1 of season 41 of Survivor has started. Survivor is back. I am excited. The first episode was a lot. It was a lot, but I did enjoy most of it. I'm going to get into a lot of things, my first thoughts on the first episode, but we will also be doing a podcast over the weekend that will air. We'll be ranking the top 10 players from episode 1, giving all of our thoughts. And if we're new to Survivor coverage, but we've been covering Big Brother for a year now, and let me tell you, our Big Brother coverage is more accurate than 99% of the podcasters and YouTubers out there that cover Big Brother. We're hoping it's the same with Survivor, and so far so good because our draft looking a little accurate. The last two players picked in our draft were the first two players eliminated. I mean, what can I tell you? We're just too good on this channel, too good on this channel. But here we are going to go into this episode starting with the start of the episode where they have to get to the Flint, row to the Flint, and only the first team that gets to the Flint gets Flint. The other two teams then have to do another challenge. I kind of liked it. There was an overkill of information in this first episode. That was my only problem. There was just a lot going on for a premiere. We saw the Yellow tribe. I'm not going to be good at remembering the names of the tribes, so I'm just going to go by color mostly, probably. The Yellow tribe struggled to find their final paddle, but they kind of had an unfair advantage in finding their last paddle. It was very hidden by a bunch of Yellow when they're the Yellow tribe trying to find the Yellow paddle. So I didn't really knock too much off from them, because at first I was like, this is the really smart tribe. There's a lot of higher educated people on this tribe and they're looking dumb. But they had the production kind of gave them a disadvantage with the Yellow surrounded by Yellow. And then we had the Blue tribe who never disconnected their boat and they were anchored down there trying to row. They were getting nowhere because they were anchored down, which is pretty funny. So yeah, the Green tribe wins Ewa, I think. They win Flint and Supplies first. Now let's really dig into some of these players we saw in this episode. I find everybody pretty likable so far. I think nobody really has a unlikable edit, except maybe my first pick in the draft, Ricard. He kind of got on my nerves, but we'll get to that. I enjoyed JD, such a super fan, JD/Jairus. JD is super fan coming through in this episode, playing hard like a super fan would when they get on one of these shows. I like that he practiced starting fire with Flint, and he's the one able to start the Flint. So then the other tribes, they have to earn their Flint. They both choose the physical challenge. David doesn't want to do the physical challenge because he thinks the other tribe mates are going to have time to talk without him. But Xander talks him into it. So they do that challenge. Deshawn and Danny do it for the Blue tribe. They end up looking for idols at one point when they're taking a break from the physical challenge. Nasir catches them doing this and rats that out to the rest of the tribe. But later, Sydney rats out to Danny and Deshawn that Nasir ratted them out. So lots of rats in this episode. Lots of people trying to get in with a lot of people. But the person doing the best is the person with their own fucking theme song, and that is Chantel. The best part of the episode was her coming up with her own fucking theme song and then Survivor making a theme song out of it. That's great editing. That's great. Just great overall. Very entertaining stuff. Really enjoying Chantel, who is looking to try and be a mastermind this season. Where that's what the edit she's getting anyway. I enjoyed, so one part of the, like I half enjoyed it. There was an editing change for sure this season of Survivor, the new era. And one of those things is like those little side intros into people's lives. And I enjoyed Jeannie's probably the most, and her mother accepting her marrying a woman. So I enjoyed a lot of them, but also I just feel like it's still typical reality where they just have to focus on a person's struggle all the time instead of us really getting to know them as people. They have to go for the, I don't know. I guess I get it. It makes people either feel sorry for someone or really like them because of their struggle. So like I half like the new intro into people. So I don't know. It's a mixed bag for me with the editing in this episode. I think what also kind of makes it a mixed bag for me is that they are like, I hate when a show or anything in Hollywood, awards shows do it all the fucking time, and it's nauseating. They pat themselves on the back for being woke. And I felt like Survivor did that a lot in this episode. We saw Jeff change, come on in, guys. I mean, I get it. I don't care, but like, still, I just hate when a show has to pat themselves on the back. Hey, look, we're making the changes. Here's look at all these LGBTQ people, and look at us change this. We are great. What a great show we are. Award shows do this the worst. They will pat themselves on the back, and then a bunch of straight white people win the awards. But then also in that same vein, I don't like how people on Twitter then complain that, oh my God, they were crying about guys and Survivor gave in and changed it. And then they're complaining about the outrage while outraging it about themselves. Everyone on social media is a snowflake, no matter what identity politics you want to associate with. If you're complaining about someone else's complaining, that gets a change. You're also complaining and you're also a snowflake, for the record. So we had Liana and Evie kind of making alliance, and they seem to want to pull on Tiffany. At least that's what I'm getting, as like a woman thing. We kind of suspected that from Evie. But Abraham wanting to go after Tiffany, I guess he said a little too much and wanting to target Tiffany because that put the target on his back. And that's like I was trying to say earlier. A lot of players this game were really talking a lot, really ratting people out, but the game is faster. So I kind of get it. Everybody's excited to play. It's been so long. And everybody's playing hard, playing fast. But that's what's going to happen when the game is sped up. So JD tried to bond with Sarah about their age and how younger players in this game sometimes get a bad rep. And he was right. And he tried with her. She did not kind of give in. I think he kind of got on her nerves. JD was a big target on that team. The editing was kind of making it obvious that he wasn't going to go because they were really hitting it on the head. They were really pushing Ricard's edit that he's targeting JD, which Ricard has the most annoying edit so far because of that. Because it makes Ricard look like he's playing really, really hard and he's really, really bossy. So right out the gate, and that he's like maybe a little paranoid, although he was right about JD. So then we get the next twist, and we have one person from each tribe has to go up a mountain, the prisoner's dilemma. They all have to make a choice, and that choice is they can either preserve their vote or they can risk their vote by getting a double vote. And however, if all three players risk their vote, then they all just lose their vote. And if all three players then keep their vote, then they all keep their vote. But if one or two players risk their vote and one or two players preserve their vote, then the people that risk their vote get the double vote. And both Jairus, JD, and Xander risks their vote. They get the extra vote going forward. So they both have that advantage in their pocket. Danny, on the other hand, played it safe. He was the third member to be in this twist. This twist I liked because it's a dilemma and there is a risk and a reward. All these risk and reward twists are getting old because Big Brother just did the same kind of things. I don't like the roll the dice twists and you're safe. Anytime a show has to go on a twist that is just total fucking luck, like a roll of the dice, like a coin flip, like a random reel to become HOH, then I think a show is kind of out of ideas at that point. So one twist I like, the other twist I don't, because I don't like just major luck being involved in a twist. So Danny told his tribe the truth and that he didn't play, that he preserved his vote. Xander told his tribe the truth and that he risked his vote. Xander kind of playing the smart though, in that he can use this for a team. It is kind of a team power. You need more than 2 votes most of the time to get somebody out of the game. So Xander's playing that smart, trying to use his advantage in the future as possible team advantage. JD also risked his vote, gets the power. He lied to his tribe that he didn't risk his vote though. So Ricard still called him on it in his confessional that he thinks JD was lying. So Ricard was right in that. JD was probably like the main edit of the episode for me. I feel like we saw a lot of JD he was playing hard. He's trying to make one-on-one relationships, even though Chantal on his tribe is doing it better. Chantal seems to be in with a lot more people. But JD, the super fan, really playing hard, and I enjoy him a lot. So 2 tribes lose, and 2 tribes have to go to tribal. And it's the blue tribe that wins, whose name I don't remember. So we're going to call him the Boot Tribe for now until I could get these names right. I never do in Survivor. I never call a tribe by their name. So you'll just have to get used to that I'm going to call them by their tribe colors. I did write down the other 2, though, I think. Yase Yellow Tribe lost, and Ua, the Green Tribe, also lost. So on the Yellow Tribe, it was pretty clear that it was either Tiffany or Eric. Evie worked on David, who's going by his last name, I think, but I'm going to call him David. David, Evie convinced David, I guess, at least in the edit, that he should vote out Abraham instead. Once Abraham was voted out and blindsided, it was pretty clear JD wasn't going home because, I mean, Survivor isn't going to pat themselves on the back for being woke and call it a new era and then 2 black men go home first. So I knew JD wasn't going home. It was bad enough that Eric was the first boot because the uproar would have happened after all of the reason that this even became a thing with this much diversity in the cast and ex-black players spearheading that to happen. Ua has a wild tribal council though, where Ricard and Chantal are talking with Sarah while JD's talking. And I forgot to mention Brad, who makes this big old goof by telling names in front of, he put out Sarah and Chantal's name in front of them because they lost the puzzle. Not smart. Brad is likely not long for this game, but we'll see. Maybe he can actually surprise us, but I think he's going to be a little too blunt for his own good. We get this moment where Chantal's trying to tell JT to vote for Brad, but then he thinks they should keep the vote on Sarah, and they end up keeping the vote on Sarah. Sarah gets the boot. And like I said at the beginning, once again, this channel looking accurate. I don't know how we do it. The first 2 boots were the last 2 people drafted in our draft the other day. We're pretty damn good at calling some shit sometimes. It even surprises me. But yeah, those were most of my first thoughts. It was a good episode, though. I enjoyed all of it. Some editing was iffy. Maybe it was just long, too. But all in all, I am glad Survivor's back. We'll do a full podcast and full top 10 rankings over the weekend. So watch out for that. Thank you for joining me. And one thing I wanted to say, I picked Erica in the draft because I thought she was going to be messy, but so far, so many people are looking way more messier than Erica, at least in the edit. So I have hope that Erica and all of her pregame stuff that she sounded great in could be a surprise win because she did not have much of an edit in this first episode. So either someone actually is going to be a mastermind like Chantal, or maybe JD's is going to have a hard-fought victory, but maybe Erica could go under the radar and get this fucking win.